Good morning, everybody. 8 minutes after 10. Special meeting of the council. Today, Aug 2. Again, 10:08. The agenda is before council. Call to order. Adoption of the agenda. Peter has the on table here, which is that new business?
A1.
A1, thank you. There we are, so that's here. And are there any, well, let's go, additions, changes? Peter? Going,
I don't have anything else.
No, I have. Pam? Nothing?
No.
Aye?
Nope.
Lads, nothing?
No.
We have a motion to adopt the agenda. Thank you. Second, all carried. Fine. Public participation. Lineup's a little thin this morning. There being none. Delegations. I believe nobody's in. Bummer. Okay. Minutes. You could review the minutes before we move to go over. And for me, I had, and this is Shauna Peter on page 7 of 12. The correspondence G3 and G4, I think those were carry forward items. So in the...
Sorry,
there, it's okay.
I was up a very high scaffold. I was scared to come
Glad
down.
you made it out. So let me just conclude and hand this over. So G3, G4, if that could appear in the next agenda as unfinished business.
Okay.
Oh my God, the mayor's got a beard. You were in prison.
I think you shaved that off at
All
present.
right. So to conclude this, so we're just finishing the minutes, which you weren't at, so I'll conclude and hand it over. Any other changes? Additions? No?
Nope.
All in favor of acceptance of the minutes? Good, unanimous. Business arising, I think we covered the two pieces that I did, so that would be on the next agenda in one of the little boxes. Yes, Shauna?
Sorry, say that again?
Those two items, G3, G4?
Yep.
When is that UBCM, by the way? Just thinking, we don't want...
The week of the 21st of September.
Okay, so you got time for that one then, good. Okay. Mr. Mayor, you are back at unfinished business.
Thanks, Ron. Again, I apologize for my tardiness. I was up a scaffold, scared to come down.
You still have a cedar in your hair too.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Came down head first.
So we are on item 7.
Yes, this is the
So
tobacco.
Mayor assumed the chair, right, Shauna? And that is on page 9. So I think we all know what this is, but I know this was carried over from the last meeting.
That's correct.
Pam, do you want to just give us a rundown?
Essentially, in 2017 budget, we had the purchase of a backhoe loader, sort of a lease to own over a 5-year period. So in the budget, I had the principal and interest over the 5-year period. And our plan was, when we requested the RFPs, was to finance it through the seller. And the interest rates were coming in at 4 or 5%, which I'd had in the budget. But then the MFA has a new program, equipment financing program, and they offer an interest rate of 1.65%. And it's a fairly simple application, and because it's less than 5 years, we don't need to go to the public. So the purpose of this report was just to meet the requirements of the application. I'm required to have a resolution, and I'm required to have a council report.
Right.
So it was put forward. And then at the time, Councillor Hughes just had some questions about the purchase of the backhoe that we thought were best answered by the Public Works Manager. So that was where we left it.
Okay.
Hey, no. Good to see you,
Hello.
Did.
Good to see you.
So just to go back to the budget process. So where we're at right now is we have a mini excavator, a tracked mini excavator, and a bobcat. Both those pieces of equipment are well over 10 years old. They're both experiencing significant mechanical problems to the point where they're going to fail relatively quickly. We use those two pieces of equipment on a regular basis, on a daily basis, for routine tasks such as ditching, water service repairs, sewer blocks, constantly using them for flail mowing, etc. intake road maintenance, and clearing out the intakes when they become plugged with minor debris. So there's heavy use of those equipment during the normal course of our work. During the winter, we use them to load the hoppers, the salt hoppers, etc. So those two pieces are ingrained in Public Works. The backhoe will replace those two pieces of equipment in doing all the routine maintenance. The problem with those two pieces, the major dilemma, is that when we use them in various areas of the municipality, we have to load them onto a trailer and haul them around. The backhoe is able to drive at up to 50 km an hour. We'll have dispensation to use it on the highway to travel. So I would see the increase, or predict an increase in the use of the equipment.
Okay, well, that's nothing we hadn't heard before at budget time, although I hadn't appreciated we were going to dispense with the 2 Bobcats.
The Bobcat and the mini excavator
Yeah.
will eventually fail and become too costly to repair.
And we don't need those as well, though?
No. This will take the place of those two pieces of equipment.
The Bobcat's mainly used as a skid steer loader, isn't it?
The Bobcat is the loader, yeah, and the excavator is the back end of the backhoe.
But yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So-
the other end of the backhoe. Will
Yeah, yeah. So right now we use one or the other. We rarely use both on the same job. This will allow us to use both because we won't have to worry about ferrying two pieces of equipment, and it's just more versatile.
So then,
Yeah, a lot more powerful.
Okay.
so then the idea is that we will dispose of the other two pieces of equipment and we're replacing them with this one.
Yeah, the other two will just run into the ground.
Okay, so my question was around manpower
Mhm.
and how we're gonna find people to run the equipment. And the thing is, sounds like we're already using equipment, and in my case, the justification is, what are we doing? Are we gonna quit using the old equipment now, or are we gonna still use all three pieces of equipment for
We're
a
going to
while?
continue to use all three. So for a while, we will not use the backhoe to load salt, and that'll help save on the wear and tear on the backhoe. But we've already ran into 2 problems with the mini excavator, and I don't think it'll last through the end of the year. The skid steer is also on its way out. The chain drive is malfunctioning.
Would we not be better just to stop using them, sell them?
I don't think we'd get much for them. So,
Okay.
yeah, we could look into that. Originally, my understanding is that we did have a JCB backhoe, and the Public Works manager at that time traded it in for these 2 pieces of
I
equipment.
remember that.
What staff have found is that they're not as versatile as was originally thought when that trade was done.
And not powerful enough, I would imagine. You can't-
Sorry?
Not powerful enough to dig in this kind of...
No, so
that's
there's
the other
a
thing,
bunch
yeah.
of contracting that's done right now that we can do internally.
Yeah.
The concern would be that if we don't go ahead with the purchase of the backhoe and those 2 pieces of equipment do break down, then what we're going to be faced with is going out to contract on routine maintenance. That'll create a union issue, a labor relations issue, and it'll also subject us to the market rate for equipment and construction materials, which is pretty steep. The most recent example we have is an excavation for a water service at 25 Sweetwater, which we don't think we can do with our excavator. The cost for that through private contractors is $5,000. We have a backhoe here, a demo backhoe. We're going to do the service in half a day, and it'll cost us $2,000. So there is a significant savings
$2,000 in notional time?
in using equipment operator rates. So
Oh.
our staff time plus equipment time plus materials.
Okay.
So
Even though that's actually sunk cost, so the
That's
incremental
yeah.
cost is zero.
notional, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Hard
Yeah,
to
it's
tell.
notional.
yeah, it's
But-
just yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question on the financial justification, and I understand when we fund, when we get our reserve fund, which we can borrow against, we can actually use that money to pay off and charge ourselves an even lower rate than 165, which is pretty low as it is.
It is an option. Then another feature of this, it can be paid off at
It's
any
no
time.
penalty, yeah.
We sort of want to wait until we see the funds and kind of analyze, do a plan of how we'll spend that money, because this is readily accessible money at a low interest rate. It's nice to save that money for something we couldn't
Sure.
get financing for.
And I already checked with Peter, but just for council's benefit, there's no MFA, MVRD approval process like there is for a longer term loan. This is just essentially
It's just
revolving
literally an
credit
application.
almost.
This is the biggest part. It's just the
Yeah.
resolution, the council report,
Yeah.
and it's all done online, actually.
Okay, so if there are no further questions, I'll call the question on the recommendation that the motion is that council directs staff to prepare and submit an application to the Municipal Finance Authority for equipment financing pursuant to section 175 of the Community Charter up to a maximum of $145,000 for the purchase of a backhoe loader. The maximum term of the loan is 5 years with no rights of renewal. And I will also note as part of the motion that council has received the requisite report. Can I have a second? Thanks. And any further discussion? All in favour? Opposed? That carries. And that's great, thanks. And I see there's one staff report. And Nye, that seems to have your name next to it.
So this is the invitation to tender for the works at the Harvey Creek intake weir. Based on the design and modifications done through the IC committee and Creas Engineering, we went out to tender for these works. 4 companies were on site for a pre-construction or pre-tender meeting, and all 4 had expressed a commitment to bid on the project. However, when push came to shove, only one firm did submit a bid, and that was North Construction. The bid came in at $159,389. That's a contract price of $144,899 plus a 10% contingency. Both Creas and I have reviewed the proposal from North and are comfortable with the value for money that's being proposed in that contract. I think that's pretty much it.
What
Any
was the
questions?
budget? Remind us.
The budget is $169,129.
Okay, so we're a little ahead.
13 grand.
The total, on the last page, you'll see the total for the project. We need to add some funding for outstanding invoices from Creas and project management and construction monitoring. So the total cost of the project will be $182,899. The budget is $169,129,
Okay, so we're
leaving a shortfall of $13,760, which we will be able to cover off,
That's right.
according to the finance director, from the water modeling.
That's right. In the 2017 budget, because at the time of doing the budget, we weren't sure if we were going to get the Clean Water Wastewater Fund grant. We needed to go ahead with the water modeling, so we put it in the operating budget at $18,000. But because we were successful with the grant, that $18,000 is now covered off by the grant. So we have a savings there of $18,000, which nicely ties into our shortfall. So essentially, we don't have to draw from reserves or surplus to pay for it.
Would this also be, because of its engineering work within the works department's budget for engineering work and stuff like that, if you're gonna take it from another pot that's already been taxed for? Like,
It could come out of our engineering portion of our budget, but there's no need with
Okay.
the surplus. If it varies, then yes, we will do that.
Yeah, and yes, but
yes and yes.
we've
Yeah, but you're talking about cash flow. I'm more interested in that. That's a different project, and that supplies the cash. So meaning we don't have to dip into reserves. That's great. But so we're out by 13,000 on this project. What was the thing that caused that? I see there's $10,000 for environmental monitoring. Had we taken that into account before?
I think basically what we're paying for is the construction market right now. The other 3, in speaking with Kevin from Creas, the other 3 firms had difficulty fitting in with the tight timeline. The
It's an
idea
8% variance on the budget, which is not terrible at all.
No, but remember, the original budget was for the road rehabilitation works.
Yeah,
And we-
unrelated to what we were doing. Yeah.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
we repurposed it for
Yeah.
reconstruction of the weir
And got the extension.
and
of
got
a
the
year.
extension.
Okay, so I'm hearing that with the surplus arising from a project that came in under, we don't have any cash issues in terms of dips into reserves or
No.
No,
taxation,
and
obviously.
essentially we're getting a brand new weir
Yeah.
for the Harvey Creek intake.
And Fred, this is the design the final design after the raising of the lip so that it would go through the intake rather than only cover half the intake and all that stuff.
Exactly.
The IC is happy with it.
When do they hope to start? When do they hope to finish?
This afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're marshalling at my house right now. Okay.
Essentially, the fabrication of the metal works and the shop drawings will be starting this week if we get approval.
Okay, this is great stuff, man. This is good
Ending
progress line.
Very
It-
good
it-
value.
I believe it has to be done before the fall rains,
Yeah,
so
okay,
it'll have
so-
to be done in August.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
August,
Okay,
September. Yeah.
Where is actually the profile of the weir? Is it in this document?
No, it is
Okay.
not in this.
It'll be in
document.
the drawings.
It's in the drawings that the IC reviewed. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move that council award ITT.13160. That's a numbered company, a BC numbered company, I presume.
No, that's the project.
Oh, that's the
number from
project,
Creas.
okay.
Creas.
Harvey Creek Weir Intake Upgrade to North Construction in the amount of $159,389, with the contract price of $144,899 plus 10% contingency, and authorize the mayor and CEO to execute a contract substantially in the same form as in the ITT, and any associated documents pertaining to the fulfillment of the contract. Can I have a second? Thank you. And any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? That carries.
Thank you.
Okay, good job, Nye, as always. Did we add anything to the agenda that I missed?
The election officer was next
That
up.
was the only.
Okay, that was it. Okay, so that is on. Is there a report, Peter, or is this the resolution?
Just the resolution.
Okay, fine. Do I need to read it?
I think you could just confirm that everyone's read it. There is
Okay.
one change under E2. It should say municipal accountant instead of senior accountant.
Fine. Okay, so with that change, can I just get confirmation around the table verbally that you've read the recommendation that will become the motion? So Ron, yes. Fred, yes.
Yes.
Jim, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and as have I. Now, municipal. So I will take that as a motion. Can I have a second? And any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? That carries. And correspondence.
This is, came in, Peter has a slant on it. I think two of the items affect us, one does not. I think the safe kit's probably not. The other two seem fine with me. The first two.
Fine. I mean, all they essentially ask you.
Yeah, we're stacking up for.
Yeah, nobody's going to go
Yeah.
stand with the microphone in the plenary
Yeah.
session on the yes side and
So-
speak to it.
So for me, I mean, they're all incredibly logical. Like I said, the two actually do affect us. The first two do, doing work that the province and the state should pay the junior government for, and the other one's an RCMP issue.
Yeah. So I'll just take a motion to receive correspondence, and if anybody, unless anybody says that they actually want to write a letter to somebody, we'll just receive it. So a second on that, thanks, and all in favour. Opposed? That carries. Okay, I'll talk to Mayor Heinzman about it. Sure, why not? No new business, no public questions. Motion for adjournment. And a second. All in favour. Opposed? That carries.
Made it.